Hello, and welcome to the Seasonal Edit Podcast. I'm your host, Jade Boyd, and this is a podcast where we talk about planning and productivity, doing less, and living in your season. The Seasonal Edit is a slower, more flexible approach to planning that works with your current season of life instead of expecting the same output year-round in every season. Today is episode number 134, and we're talking about how to build a fall capsule wardrobe based on what's actually important to you right now and without buying anything. And we're covering not one, but 3 different ways to do that, plus some of my favorite wardrobe essentials that I'm wearing on repeat this fall. Okay, so diving right in, we're going to talk about a capsule wardrobe, and we are not going to talk about it in the way that I see most content creators talk about it, which is, here is my formula for how many shirts and how many pairs of pants and how many shoes that you can wear and how to mix all of them, and it has to be in neutral colors, and then you'll have this perfect wardrobe that lasts forever. That is absolutely not what we're talking about today, because I don't feel like that's realistic, and I don't think that it actually works for real people. It looks very beautiful on social media, but it's not practical for real life. It's all form over function. And so I'm not going to share a formula that requires you to buy a certain number of shirts or have them in a certain color. We're just going to talk about how to eliminate some of the decision fatigue that happens from getting dressed, because getting dressed, to me, it kind of feels like meal planning. It seems really simple of like, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat something. But then there are so many factors that go into what you wear or what you make for a meal. I think the decision fatigue with both of these problems is very similar. Like, they're very different problems, but the complexity, like the surprising complexity that comes with what to put on your body every day, it can be overwhelming, especially if you're making that decision multiple times a day, or it's taking you forever to get dressed, or you don't love what you're wearing and then it makes you feel like garbage all day. There's just so much that goes into it. And so I'm hoping with sharing how I'm thinking about building a capsule wardrobe in this season of my life, it might give you some ideas to help lighten that mental load on a daily basis, make your mornings go smoother, eliminate some of those wardrobe changes that are happening halfway through the day, or that frustration that comes with not liking what you're wearing, or even eliminate the problem of not getting dressed every day and not feeling your best because you don't know what to wear. And we're going to go through the seasonal edit framework with this. And so my season of life is going to look very different from your season of life. You also might be listening to this episode in a season that's not fall. And that's okay, because the formula will work for any season of life and any season of the year that you're currently in. I'm going to share my answers while we go through this framework, but you will have answers of your own. So if you have a notebook or a voice note or somewhere that you want to take notes as we're going through this, I would encourage you to find that now. And we're going to dive right in. So the first step is to clarify what matters, because what matters to you right now is going to be different than what matters to anybody else when it comes to getting dressed. And I want you to answer 2 questions, 2 very simple questions. Name your season of life and name your season of the year. So when it comes to what matters for your wardrobe, what season of life are you in, and what season of the year are you in? So for me, my season of life is life with little children, and I'm currently breastfeeding. So that has huge impacts on what I wear every day, because I want to have easy access to be able to breastfeed like on the go and in public. And that requires a whole different complexity in terms of what I can wear every day. And it limits my choices quite a bit. I'm also in what I'm calling my stay-at-home mom era. So comfy, stain-resistant clothes. I need pockets. Like, pockets are a non-negotiable right now. I need my clothes to be stretchy because I'm bending every which way all day long. And I'm also in like a freshly postpartum season. So I'm not my typical size right now. And not everything in my wardrobe fits yet postpartum. And so this is the season of life that I'm in. And I could get really frustrated with my wardrobe if I was going into it not naming these things and getting frustrated with like, oh my gosh, nothing fits me right now. This is so frustrating. I can't wear half my closet because I'm breastfeeding, and on and on and on. Like, if I don't name it and acknowledge to myself and remind myself, this is just a season that I'm in, and it's okay to adjust what I'm wearing for this season. And there will be other seasons where I have more choices and different options. But if I try and choose those different options now, it's not going to help me. So name your season of life and whatever caveats or filters that creates for what you're wearing in this season. And then the second question is clarify what your season of the year is. So I live in the Midwest and we're going into fall, and fall is erratic. I have a photo of us like last October at the splash pad because it was hot. It's cold in the morning and then hot in the afternoon. So the temperature varies widely. It can be rainy, it can be cloudy, it can just be like clear, sunny, and also cold. Like it's just all over the place. And that affects what I wear quite a bit. I need to have layers if I want to get dressed one time a day and have that outfit serve me throughout the day. Layers are absolutely necessary. And for me, especially with my season of life, I want to have a lighter layer that's breastfeeding friendly. And then the top layer needs to serve as kind of like a nursing cover. Again, in this season of life. And that's what I'm operating on going into fall. I also just love fall. Fall is my favorite season. And so I'm really excited about the coziness of it and, sweatpants and jeans and chunky sweaters. Like, get yourself amped for whatever season it is, because every season has something to love when it comes to your wardrobe. And then if there's anything else that really matters to you when it comes to building your wardrobe or what you wear every day, just take a mental note if there's something extra important about that. I personally am not very into fashion. Like, I just want my clothes to be functional and for me to feel put together. I'm not somebody who follows trends or is like very interested in what other people are wearing or what's the cool thing to wear right now. I just like wearing clothes that I like, and that's it. And if I have to put zero effort into getting dressed, that is my preference. To you, what you wear might be really fun and it might be like a big passion or even hobby of yours. And that's totally okay too. So if like variety in what you wear matters or whatever it might be, just name it so that when we're going into this, you can keep those things front and center. Because again, listen to my answers as an example, but they are not going to be your answers. So step one, clarify what matters when it comes to getting dressed this season. Okay, the second step is to edit. So this is the step where you're kind of curating what stays and what goes. So based on what matters to you, there's probably a lot that can go. So when I'm looking through my closet in this season, I'm eliminating anything that I can't breastfeed in because I'm just not going to wear it. Anything that doesn't fit in this postpartum season. Anything that is just like only for summer or only for heavy winter. Anything that I don't love or like I've outgrown or style-wise, I just have never reached for it a very long time. And then I always like using the amount of space that you have for your wardrobe as a filter. So for me right now, what's been working for me is pulling clothes out of my closet that I see every day and putting them in a bin that we have in our storage room as like, these are clothing items that I might wear someday, but not in this season, just so that they're not in front of me every day, clouding that decision-making process. In our old house, we did not have a storage room and we like didn't even have any garage space. And so that was not an option for me. And I very much had to keep a minimal wardrobe. Anything that didn't fit or serve me had to be kept to a minimum because it was taking up space in my actual closet. And so at that point, I was buying less clothes and I was also getting rid of more clothes so that I could keep everything in my closet because I didn't have extra storage space. Now I have the luxury of having a little bit of extra storage space, which I think in the long term actually does save me money because I'm able to shop my closet in future seasons of clothes that I do actually love and have already bought instead of rebuying things for a different season. And it also helps serve some of that like novelty and newness that we all enjoy when it comes to getting dressed. Who doesn't like wearing something that feels a little bit new or fresh or different than what you're wearing? And so every season I'm able to look through that tote and be like, okay, do I actually love this and will I wear it? Or has it been in this tote for an entire year and okay to let that go? And so that's kind of been my solution for editing in our current house. But basically in this step, you're just removing anything that's distracting you from what actually matters, distracting you from the pieces that you do want to wear, and you're getting rid of them, you're donating them or selling them, gifting them to a friend, or just storing them somewhere else that's not your everyday closet that you're looking at every single day. And then step 3 is to systemize. And this is where it gets kind of fun. I love a good system. So we're going to look at 3 different ways that we could potentially systemize creating a capsule wardrobe for fall, and a couple bonus tips. So there's an unlimited number of ways that you could systemize this, but I'm picking out 3 of my favorites and 3 of the ones that I think might be the most simple, especially if you're not in the place for a complete wardrobe overhaul. These are just 3 things that you can actually start doing today and progressively build up to. It doesn't require 5 hours in your closet to clean it out. So the first one is to pick 7 outfits you like, or 14 outfits you like, or 30 outfits you like, however many outfits that you want to spend the time picking out from your closet, and taking a picture of the outfits that you love and could wear every week if you had to, and just taking a little bit of time to play in your closet. Again, you don't have to do this all in one afternoon. This could be a gradual process of when you are getting dressed or when you find an outfit that you really love, just take a picture of it and either print it out somewhere you can see it if you know that you're going to forget about it, or save it to an album in your Photos app so that you can go back to that when you're getting dressed and be like, okay, here are all the outfits that I love in my closet. Which one do I want to wear today? And if you wanted to pick out 7, that would probably be a true like capsule wardrobe where you're wearing things on repeat every single week. Not necessarily the same day every week, but you have 7 tried and true outfits that you absolutely love that you're just wearing on repeat for the season. Again, we're just talking about fall. So these are not the outfits you have to live in for all of eternity. We're just talking about fall. If you want things to be super easy this fall, or if it's particularly busy season or your wardrobe's been really frustrating and you just want to simplify it, pick 7 outfits and then save them on your camera roll and rotate between them on a weekly basis. Doesn't have to be in order. Again, if you have more than 7 outfits, however many feels simple and manageable to you, perfect. And if you have items in your wardrobe that you never wear, maybe picking one of those. If you're like, oh man, I really love this sweater, but I never wear it because I never know what to wear it with. Maybe plain. And picking it out and putting an outfit together that you do love, taking a picture of that so that you do pull and wear that sweater more often if you do actually love it. So this one is very, very simple, and it kind of can create that capsule wardrobe where if you find pieces where you're like, you know what, I can't put together an outfit with this that I actually love and would want to wear every week. Maybe it's an item that you rotate out of your wardrobe for this season. You could store it away or decide to pass it on. You can always bring it back in a future season if you want to. But the goal here is to just make it a little bit simpler to get dressed this fall. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is a daily uniform. And I think what most of us have seen demonstrated as a daily uniform is like the Steve Jobs black turtleneck, the same jeans every single day where it becomes part of your personal brand. And that's not necessarily what I'm suggesting here. By all means, if you want to wear jeans and a white t-shirt every day, good for you. And that's amazing. That's true capsule. And let me know what t-shirt you wear because I love a good white t-shirt. But what I'm talking about is more of a daily uniform in terms of a formula. And this is definitely what I'm using in this season of life. So my daily uniform right now going into fall looks like this. A pair of linen pants. I have just had a love affair with linen pants recently, and I will link the ones from Old Navy that I love best. Quince also has some amazing linen pants, but I'm kind of in between sizes where one size is too small and then the next size up is too big, which is really unfortunate because I think the quality is a lot better. They might work better for you, but the Old Navy ones are amazing and have actually held up really well for being, Old Navy is not known to be the best of quality, but I own, I think, 6 different colors and I wear them every day. Again, it's not the same pair of jeans every day, but most days I'm pulling a pair of linen pants. And then on top, I am pairing it with a nursing tank. And I will also link a couple tanks that I found that are nursing friendly that are not nursing tanks that have built in like not removable pads. Like the pad is the tank. And then I just pull it down for easy access. And it's worked so well. But I also have some of the traditional just like first layer clip down nursing tanks and some other padded nursing tanks. So I have a variety of them. Most of them are just in basic colors since my pants are in different colors. So that's step 2, pick out a nursing tank or a nursing bra. I will sometimes, if we're just staying at home all day, just grab the bra and then partner it with like a top layer. And that's the third layer is like, even if I'm wearing a nursing tank because it's fall, I would want a heavier layer on top, whether that's a cardigan or a t-shirt or like an oversized sweater. It really doesn't matter to me because the formula is the same every day. Linen pants, nursing tank, top layer. Top layer could be a blouse. Top layer could be a million things. But it's always those three things. And even though I can wear 100 different outfits, just having that daily uniform be the same formula every day and having a step-by-step process of like choosing the pants first and then the tank and then the top layer has just simplified my life so much. And I also did this in spring. It worked really well in that, similar transitional season, different weather, but very similar in like the variety of weather every day. And it worked so well. So that's absolutely what I'm doing this fall and having that system set up in my closet where all my pants are together, my tanks are together, and then my top layers are together. Doesn't require a ton of organization, but it makes my life so much easier. So that's option number 2. Option number 3 would be a weekly uniform. And this one is probably the most flexible and would offer you the most variety. But if you have the type of schedule where you're doing certain things on certain days of the week, like, on Saturdays in fall, you're always going to have like a kid's sporting event. And that requires a particular, outfit requirement based on where you're going, if it's outside or whatever that might be. Or if every Wednesday you're working from home and recording content or you're on Zoom calls that day or whatever that might be. Or if you have like a flex schedule and on Thursdays you're always in the office, that's like your office day, which you get more dressed up for. If you have that type of schedule where there's certain days of the week that require different things of your wardrobe, you could set up a weekly uniform where on Monday you have a specific formula for what you wear, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you get the idea. So another way to think about this might be like location or activity-based uniforms. So on a weekly basis, yes, if your schedule is regular, you could choose a certain day of the week to assign those things. But also one thing that might simplify your life is if there's a certain occasion or a certain activity that you really struggle to get dressed for, just choosing what your uniform is for that activity. So when I was a photographer and I was shooting weddings for that very brief season, like how do you choose what to wear to a wedding to look like dressed up, like you're not wearing sweatpants to somebody's wedding, which is a little rude, but also you're a photographer, so you're bending every which direction and carrying heavy stuff and like on your feet all day, so you do need to be comfortable. I struggled for a while to decide what to wear to a wedding. And then just decided on a Patagonia, like a black Patagonia jumpsuit that was a thinner material. So even on like 90-degree outdoor weddings and wearing black, it was cool enough that I could wear it. And it was like a pants tank top jumpsuit. So I never had to worry about like a dress, bending over in a dress or like limiting my restriction in any way. It had deep pockets so I could have my white balance and my SD cards and my lens caps, whatever, everything fit in my pocket, my phone. And I just wore that to every single wedding that I shot. And if it was colder outside, I would pair it with like a jean jacket or a cardigan for an extra layer. But I didn't have to decide going into a wedding, which there's so many other more important things to think about when you're shooting a wedding, that I didn't have to worry about what I was going to wear every single time. I just had one outfit. It was clean. I wore it. It worked. It lasted forever. It was timeless. It was great. So that's one example. Also, when I was pregnant the first time, jumpsuits were my uniform. I had, I think, 4 different jumpsuits that I just wore on repeat with a layer underneath. I'm an indoor gal, so I never really had to worry about summer heat as much, because if I was going outside, I would just, quickly change into like gym shorts or something like that. It was like a temporary thing where I spent most of my time indoors, but I was mostly pregnant or like looked pregnant over the winter in my first pregnancy, and jumpsuits were my pregnancy uniform. And so there might be something like that for you, where if it's occupationally based or just like a specific thing, like I never know what to wear to church, or I never know what to wear to baseball games, or I never know what to wear when I go on date night, coming up with a specific uniform for that circumstance might be helpful for you. But with the weekly uniform, you could come up with 7 days of the week. I wear this thing or this uniform on Monday. I wear this type of outfit on Saturdays, whatever that might be. It could really simplify your decision making when it comes to getting dressed, especially if you love variety and want to challenge yourself to wear something a little bit different each day of the week. Okay, so to sum up the steps so far, we had clarify what matters and then do your editing. And then step 3 was systemizing, choosing some sort of system for your capsule wardrobe. And step 4 is executing, like actually doing it and showing up and wearing the clothes and practicing it, because what you're going to guess going into this might be the ideal capsule wardrobe formula for you is probably not going to be 100% accurate. It does take a little bit of trial and error to figure it out. Or even if you have the perfect idea of what your daily uniform is, you might not have the perfect individual pieces to put that uniform together in a way that's actually functional for you. And so executing requires kind of writing down what steps do I need to take to make this a reality, to make this happen in real life so that I can simplify getting dressed every day this fall. And first of all, I would suggest writing it down and writing it down where you can see it. Because if you're like me, you have a lot of ideas that are good in theory, and then you forget when it comes to actually getting dressed. And so if you're someone who tends to forget about things, I would write it down. Like this fall, I'm going to wear this on Monday, this on Tuesday, this on Wednesday, if that's what you've chosen, and put it somewhere in your closet physically where you can see it so you can reference it quickly without needing to go grab your phone or have this extra step involved. Just like simplify it as much as possible. Even printing out the outfits that you have pictures of and putting them in your closet so that you can visually see them when you're getting dressed and not forget that you have that album hidden on your phone. Making it visual could help so much, and you can do that in a lot of different ways. I also have started laying out my outfit the night before, and I know, like, groundbreaking. You've never heard this before. Laying out your outfit can help you get dressed in the morning, right? Big news. But sadly, it actually works, and it's actually been really helpful for me to think about that at night, where I feel like I'm less rushed than in the morning, at least in this stage of my life. Nights after the kids go to bed, I have a little bit of breathing room. In the morning when everybody's trying to get dressed and, breakfast is happening and the baby's going down for his first nap before I'm even dressed in the morning, it's a little bit more chaotic. So laying out my outfit the night before has been super helpful. Again, that visual reminder of what you're going to wear that day. And then also using it as a filter for buying new clothes, because I think we have I know we have such an overconsumption problem happening in our culture right now, and fast fashion is very sad if you look at the implications on the environment and our budgets and spending and just the amount of waste. It's really sad. And using some sort of capsule wardrobe, again, even if only for a season, as an experiment to see if it's for you, as this filter of buying new clothes right now, could be really helpful for your budget and for your mental health when you're not being overstimulated by all these options in your closet that aren't actually working for you. So use it as a filter to perfect, like if your daily uniform, like mine, is like linen pants, a tank top, and an outer layer, perfecting that formula for an outfit and finding the great basic pieces that are going to serve you season after season and not just in one season. It could be a great investment and can also help you simplify the decision making when you're confronted with like, oh my gosh, that's on sale. Should I get it? I can't even name how many times a day we have to make the decision not to buy something. And having this as one of your filters can just help make that decision really quick and take less mental energy so you can spend that energy on something a little bit more valuable. Okay, so to sum up the seasonal edit framework for building your no-buy fall capsule wardrobe, step 1, clarify what matters to you this season. Step 2, edit out what doesn't matter. Step 3, systemize your wardrobe. And step 4, execute by getting dressed and practicing your capsule wardrobe. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode resonated, I'd love for you to share it with a friend or leave a review. If you'd like a podcast recap with all the links and resources mentioned in today's episode, including some of the clothes that I mentioned, be sure to sign up for the Seasonal Edit email newsletter. And the link is in the show notes for you to sign up for that. The newsletter is currently going out once per month. And this is just a place for me to dive deeper, share a little bit more behind the scenes of what seasonal edits and changes to my seasonal wardrobe and a million other things are working for me right now in my personal season of life, and linking to the newest podcast episodes and other happenings around the seasonal edit. So until next time, enjoy the season you're in, and I'll see you next time.